welcome to the Quick and Painless Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Carter.
And I am your other host, Dillon. Coming back at you a little early this week. We usually record a day later, but we're doing it fresh after Dynamite and NXT. So, I mean, my head's a little still spinning. How about yours? Yeah, we are freshly squeezed right after AEW Dynamite tonight.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, that's gimmick infringement.
Well, come at me, Orange. Come at me, Orange Cassidy. Yeah.
You've heard it here first.
Sloth your way into a lawyer's office, file that complaint, and, bring it at me.
I think that's a great point. That's actually a good strategy on your part, because if anyone's not going to follow through with a lawsuit, it's probably him.
Yep. I'm thinking ahead, man. Planning
I like
ahead.
it.
One step ahead, or in Orange Cassidy's case, probably 20 steps ahead of him. So,
well, I'd be a little careful if I were you. Maybe Orange Cassidy's a good one to call out, but maybe just, pump the brakes there, because now we have another platform where we are carried.
Yes.
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 Yes. Settle down over there, Daniel Bryan. Yeah, no. So if you've listened to us before, and you find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Overcast, so on and so forth, then great. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. But we are now also a part of the team over at WrestlingHeadlines.com. So if that's where you're listening to us now, hey, welcome. Thanks for checking us out.
Yeah, very much appreciated. Appreciate the opportunity to have our stuff over at WrestlingHeadlines.com, and you can find a link to our podcast on there, or you can go to their YouTube channel, and they'll also have the video up there for your listening pleasure.
And also, if that is where you're checking us out, we'll just give you a quick rundown of who we are and what we do. Maybe not so much who we are, because, I guess you'll just find out the more you listen. But what we normally do, this is a wrestling podcast. Sometimes we get a little off track and we talk about other things that maybe don't mean anything, but we try to follow a format, and that format usually is we take a look at the week's events of wrestling and we break them down into what we consider to be the best thing of the week, that we call the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, best thing of the week. And then we also break down what we consider to be the worst thing of the week, which we like to call the he's gonna puke worst thing of the week. So that is our usual format. We didn't follow that last week due to our hiatus and getting a little ahead of ourselves. But this week we'll be back to that, I assure you.
Yeah, last week we fell a little bit behind, and, we just happened to pick the 2 weeks where we fell behind, where just like a crap load of stuff basically happened.
Yeah. We took pretty much the worst time to take time off, and that was after 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was the best time. I don't know. Remains to be seen.
Well, we had a lot to talk about, so.
Indeed, we did.
That was good. That was good for us. I don't know if it was good for everyone listening, but that was good for us.
Yes. But anyway, before we get into everything that's happened this week, and again, we just ended Dynamite and NXT. Before we get into any of that, Dylan, how is your week so far?
A little slow. Yeah. Kind of lagging a little bit. We had the time change. We also had full moon this week, too.
That's true.
So that probably set things off into a totally opposite direction. So
yeah, you probably had some Squatch activity out in your woods.
No Squatch activity this week.
Okay.
No. Pictures were still being drawn, though. So
nice.
Yeah. Yep. So
the interest is still there.
It's still there. It definitely is. But I had to deal with another issue.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sunday, I basically had to. Well, I thought I had to take my daughter to the hospital and get stitches because we were playing outside and she bumped her head on a trailer hitch. And,
oh, dang.
Yeah, and she was just like bleeding all over the place. She Looked like Ric Flair after a bloody confrontation with like Terry Funk or something. So
was she just wooing and strutting around?
No, she was doing that. But
the real question is, did you gig to make her not feel self-conscious about the fact that she was bleeding?
No, I did not.
Well, I think you blew it.
I did not. No, yeah, I totally blew it as a dad. I should have just stopped what I was doing and just cut myself instead of trying to take care of her. You're right.
Listen,
I'm an asshole. I'm sorry.
I haven't read many parenting books, at least not yet. But I'm considering writing one. So this is free advice.
Is there going to be a chapter in there about gigging?
Maybe.
for your kid?
I guess you're going to have to buy the book and find out.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a real page turner.
Yeah, I put you down for one, pre-order one so far.
Yeah, well, I should get that for free.
No.
Since technically I was the inspiration for that chapter, so.
I mean, says who? How do you know this hasn't happened before?
I don't know. That's the point. I don't
buy
know.
the book.
Okay, give me a discount, 10%, please.
I'll give you a discount code, and then if anyone happens to use
if you use it before it expires, then you're in good hands.
A kickback.
Yeah. But yeah, no stitches. She was fine after a while. Good. Yeah. So, what about you, sir? How was your week?
Crazy, and it's only getting crazier. The reason we are recording tonight instead of tomorrow is because of my travel schedule. I will be unavailable tomorrow. Despite all of the coronavirus concerns, we press on. I will still be traveling, so
You're gonna sneeze in the coronavirus's face and march forward, huh?
That's exactly right.
You're a brave person.
I'm actually planning on just like walking in and out of airports, just sneezing like profusely and just seeing how people react.
You're probably going to be quarantined if you do that.
I just get tackled to the ground.
You're like, no, I do a podcast. I do a wrestling podcast. You can't.
Wait a second.
WrestlingHeadlines.com.
Are you AC Suede?
I'm Carter. Get him out of here.
Who?
Yeah, right?
You're free to go. No, but that's it. Just traveling and meh.
Traveling, all right.
Yep. I was born a traveling man.
So enthralling.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Interesting. Safe travels.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, before we get into our best and worst of the week,
yep,
some big news.
Today
in the wrestling world. I don't know if you heard this.
I don't know. What news is that?
Well, Gronk.
Yes.
Yes. Has apparently signed with WWE.
Yeah.
What is your take on that? Whatever.
I don't know. I'm conflicted. I think on one hand, good for him. I know he's always been a fan of the WWE. Obviously, he had that little run-in with Mojo Rawley, back at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and all that fun stuff. And
yeah,
I know that it's an interest of his, as always has been. So on one hand, good for him. I think that's cool. You think back to all the other football players that have played.
That have played football, and Joe Montana,
all them
John Elway,
who ran.
They did things, and
all them basketball players that shot hoops.
Yep.
No, all those former football players that are now wrestling or have wrestled. I mean, is it weird that anytime I think of a football player? Okay, you know what? I'll ask you before I answer.
Okay.
When you think football player turned pro wrestler, who do you think of? Don't even think about it. Just first thing comes to mind.
Lawrence Taylor.
Oh.
That was only for one match, though. I mean, I would probably have to say that's, if not the most popular pro football players to get into the wrestling business. Even if it was just for one match against Bam Bam Bigelow. Right?
Yeah.
You right? Huh? Who's with me? Come on. You guys remember that, right?
Well, so for whatever reason, if I don't think about it and someone says football player turned pro wrestler, I literally think of Steve Mongo McMichaels.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
But then you got Goldberg, you got The Rock, obviously, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, D'Angelo Williams. I mean,
William the Refrigerator Perry. William the Refrigerator Perry.
Billy Coomer.
All those greats.
Look them up.
Yeah. What about wrestlers going to football?
Has that happened?
Brock. Well,
no.
Well, he tried out for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, he was on their practice squad, I think.
Yeah, so, I guess that's the closest.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Gronk. So, yeah, my initial thought is good for him, but the other thought that I can't help but think of is, what the hell is WWE doing? I mean, it is literally turning into celebrity boxing. Like, there is no skill. There is no skill involved in pro wrestling in WWE, which, I don't know, maybe there never has been, and that the purists of the art of pro wrestling are really just always going to be scorned and be damned, because at the end of the day, it's a spectacle and that's all that Vince is trying to sell. So if he could get freaking, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, you got Tyson Fury, Cain Velasquez, Gronkowski. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of
Rousey.
Ronda Rousey. Now, granted, on one hand, these are all legitimate athletes, so I get it. But at the same time, they're not doing wrestling matches. They're doing, goofy shit, So, I'm waiting for, I don't know.
Well, Ronda had a good run.
Yeah, and she'll be back, But I'm waiting for, Gene Shalit or something to show up again, and I don't know. It's
I'm waiting for Charles Barkley to, make his debut at, next year's Elimination Chamber.
Well, they were teasing Shaq versus Big Show for the longest time.
Oh, yeah. Shaq actually showed up in that one year for the Andre the Giant Royal Rumble Battle Royal thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huh.
So, yeah, I just, on one hand, I'm happy for him because I know that he's excited. But on the other hand, I just think that, it's just a big show and it's just.
Well, it is, technically.
I know. I don't know. I'm just conflicted, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
How do you feel?
I'm conflicted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, it could bring new eyes onto the product and, generate more money for the company, but, really, let's hold it back a little bit on the, the celebrity thing. All the athletes. Let's just pull it back just a little bit. And,
Well, I know that the big reaction among the internet wrestling community was you have so much talent on your roster. You have so much talent on your roster now that you're doing nothing with.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I don't know. So I get it. I get both sides. I really do. You do want to bring eyes to the product, but do something with it. But odds are it's going to be. He's probably going to be the next Universal Champ. So.
Oh, don't jinx that. Shh.
It's happening.
Vince McMahon could be listening right now.
Genius.
It's brilliant. Yeah. So there you go, Gronk.
Yeah. Yeah, big news. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we get on to our segments?
Yeah, let's kick in the door of our segments here.
All right.
All right, so we'll start the show off with our first segment, which is our best thing of the week. We call the best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be, best thing of the week.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
So, Mr. Suede, what do you consider to be your best thing of the week?
Well, there was so much stuff to choose from this week. It was really hard to make up my mind, but no, honestly, I am gonna go with Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak at Elimination Chamber.
Good choice.
That was my favorite thing of the week.
Yeah.
It was a good hard-hitting match.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling out the technical stuff, trying to tell the story of Drew knowing every weakness that Daniel Bryan has and trying to exploit that weakness.
Yeah.
I don't know if the execution of that was, flawless, because now I'm going to get into like the bad parts of it, but it really was my best thing of the week. It just seems like every move that Gulak was trying to counter, or every weakness, is something that Daniel Bryan has done before and that everyone else could have picked up on.
Oh.
And known that, hey, this is a move that he does. I need to watch out for these moves.
Yeah.
So it's like, it didn't really seem like he was exploiting anything new. I mean, like I said, anyone could have, countered any of the moves that Daniel Bryan does because he does them on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? So that was kind of my little nitpick about it, but I really did like the match. I thought it was really good. It was, like I said, a really hard-hitting match. Lots of technical stuff. Very intense in some spots. I think Gulak showed a lot of intensity. So did Bryan. Went like 10, 15 minutes, so not like a super long match. But I think it told a good story, or tried to tell a good story. Yeah, just the whole execution of Gulak trying to exploit Bryan's weakness was kind of a little questionable, but I give it a thumbs up. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I mean, it's their first match that they've had together, so why would Bryan know what Gulak is prepared for? So why wouldn't he do those same moves?
Well, if they're moves that you do every week, and you have an opponent that says, hey, I've been watching you, I've been studying you, I know all your weaknesses, I know how to exploit that. My mindset would be, okay, I need to go into this match and do different shit. Because he studied me. He knows like all my go-to moves, so maybe I'm going to try something different to kind of throw him off.
Yeah, maybe. Or you as, an upper echelon peak athletic performer who has that level, who has that confidence in himself is, okay, yeah, sure. Doesn't matter if you know what's coming or not. You still won't be able to stop it.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
Okay, well, either way, it's still their first time coming together. And so hopefully it's not the last, and you can see this kind of develop and turn into something more.
Right,
you can see that story kind of get told.
Yeah, as we say in the business, let's let it play out.
No one says that.
Oh, you're not in the right business where you hear that, though.
Oh, great. Is this another one of your pop quizzes?
No. This is going to be another album review. So
Pop quiz. Let's see it play out.
Yeah.
Nope, ace.
Nope. It's called Play It Out.
Nope, Johnny Ace.
Yep. Oh, I need a night off.
No, as someone who has a win-loss record of 1-0 against Drew Gulak, I didn't have anything to say after that. But no, I
just have to ask real quick. With your head just becoming increasingly inflated, are you still able to fit on your shirts? Get your head through your shirts, get them over, and
yeah, man. I only wear wife beaters now, or no shirts,
no shirties.
No, but I'm glad that I'm glad that Brian, has been so outspoken about the people he wants to work with. He did that with Ali when he first came back. And he really put Ali over, and they had some great matches, and it really boosted Ali and put him in a great position to succeed. And it's awesome that he continues to do that, and now he's doing it with Gulak. And Gulak is someone who absolutely deserves it, just like Ali did.
Yeah, and Drew came out looking better than what he did coming in. I mean, he definitely didn't look weak during the match at all. He looked like a credible threat to Daniel Bryan, which was great.
Well, especially with that released German.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, that was a little scary.
It was awesome.
Visually, yeah, but just knowing how that feels, it was scary. It was scary, yeah. And just how much height he got on it, and just all that weight coming down from that height, on the back of his shoulders and his neck, just oh.
Daniel Bryan does goat yoga, okay? So I'm sure
goat yoga. Is that really a thing?
Yeah. You ever seen it? Yeah, look it up.
No, I've never seen goat yoga.
Don't look it up right now because that would make for horrible radio. But look it up.
I will look it up.
Are you looking it up?
No, not. You just told me not to right now.
Well, hey, I don't know.
I don't want horrible radio. We're on WrestlingHeadlines.com anymore now. So
anyway, okay, so that's your best thing?
That is my best thing, yes, sir.
Oh, crap. I got to look at my notes. I'll be honest, I don't even think I had anything written down for best thing.
You just had a question mark and goat yoga.
Actually, it just says research goat yoga underlined 4 times.
Exclamation point.
I guess I'll just have to go with, I'm just going to steal yours. I'm just going to agree with you and say, yep, that was the best thing.
Okay.
That'll make it easier.
Sure. Awesome.
I mean, Dynamite was a good episode,
Dynamite was good. Yeah, I felt it was, it wasn't bad. It felt like it was a show that was setting up a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess I liked the fact that Lance Archer is Jake the Snake's client. However, I didn't like how underwhelming his reveal was.
How they just came walking out through the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, if Jake the Snake wants to walk through the crowd, that's great. But and even if Lance Archer wants to walk through the crowd, that's great too. But maybe it was on the camera angle. Maybe that could have been a little bit more or maybe it was JR too, because JR seriously was oh, there he is, and he's got Lance Archer with him. Wait, what? As if we knew that ahead of time.
Yeah.
So it was extremely underwhelming, and that's kind of unfortunate.
It felt like more people were popping for Jake than what they were for Lance. Just
Probably.
Because I'm sure there were quite a few people in that crowd that might not have known exactly who that was with Jake.
Right.
And, they just see Jake and they're like, oh my God,
Well, they were.
Is it?
That's what we were missing.
Yeah.
Could it be? No, but they're in Salt Lake City, so pretty sure every resident in Salt Lake City has to turn their lights off and be in bed by 8 p.m. sharp. So it's not surprising that they wouldn't know who that is.
Are you turning heel on this podcast?
No. Hey, I've been to Salt Lake City several times, and it is a beautiful, beautiful city.
But they are strict on when they want you to go to bed.
They have, I was going to say nuns, but that's the wrong religion. I guess Mormons out patrolling the streets, with yardsticks, just waiting for you to mess up, and then they'll hit you in the knuckles with them.
Yardsticks, they go up to 25 feet?
At least.
Yeah.
Which is how many yards?
I don't know how many yards
Conversions.
That is. Yeah, I was never good at conversions.
Well, that being said, holy smokes. Let's move this along here.
Worst thing of the week? Conversions.
Yeah, worst thing of the week. The he's gonna puke worst of the week.
Oh my God, he's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
So, all right, you knocked it out of the park with your best thing, and now let's just keep going 2 for 2. What's your worst thing?
Oh, my worst thing, which really isn't that bad, but it really left me feeling confused. Was the Randy Orton, Edge, and MVP segment from Raw.
See, let's just imagine that I didn't see it and you said those 3 names in succession. I'm confused.
Yeah, it was confusing. I watched that segment, and basically MVP's coming out and he's saying, I'm not an in-ring wrestler anymore. I'm gonna basically start managing people.
Yeah.
And he goes on about wanting to build a stable, and he's gonna need a solid foundation. Mm-hmm. And then he brings up Edge's name as joining a stable, or wanting him to join the stable. Mm-hmm. And you're just kind of like, huh?
Well, he's your solid foundation.
Okay, but it was... So now by doing this, it kind of feels like you're adding a different factor into, which is possibly the biggest story that you have going on either Raw or SmackDown right now. You're adding in this other element that doesn't really make much sense. And basically MVP was just there so Edge could kick the crap out of him and show Randy Orton like how psychotic and how dangerous he is.
Right.
I mean, MVP was out there saying, "Oh, like Edge, you're not focused, Edge. You're not focused, and I can bring you back up to that championship level."
Yeah.
Like last time I remember, the last time he was on Raw was the night after the Royal Rumble back in January.
Right.
He came back the night before.
Right.
At the Royal Rumble. And so he retired in 2011?
Oof.
2012?
Is that when it was? Holy crap.
Something like that, yeah. Somewhere around there. So basically, MVP has been saying that, wow, since 2012, you haven't been focused, Edge. I don't know what's happened to you, but you need to come with me because you're not 2012 focused anymore.
Right.
And I need to get you back up there. Up to this point, he's only had 2 appearances back in the WWE.
Well, focus.
Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Well, maybe he
what
doesn't
are you talking about?
Maybe he doesn't know what day Raw is on.
It's called Monday Night Raw.
Focus, Edge. Focus. It's Mondays.
And then, they cut to a shot of Edge pulling up,
Right.
gets out of the car, and he has like this really crazy look on his face and starts power walking his way down to the ring.
Yep.
Takes the mic out of MVP's hand, like doesn't even acknowledge him. He's just like, Randy, get your ass out here. MVP's like, Edge, hey, look at me. You know, come join my stable. Like, how's your wife? And then, like, he turns around and, like, spears him. And then Randy comes up for, like, the sneak attack, and they, you know, Edge gives him the RKO. But it was just... I just question why they decided to do that. Why did they decided... Like, they spent weeks playing up that what Randy Orton did to Edge. You know, weeks and weeks, you know, reminding us, making this like such a big, horrible thing. And then they announce that Edge is coming back to Raw to confront Randy Orton. Okay, that's what we want to see. That's what you want to see. Oh, there's MVP. MVP's talking about Edge. Edge wanting to join a stable with MVP? Here comes Edge. Yay. You know, it just it left me feeling confused on why they went that direction, I guess.
Yeah, and you know, and I think we beat them up a lot for not having enough crossover in their storylines. Mm-hmm. You know, and not allowing other people to enter a feud that allows it to actually stretch longer. We always say that your storylines are way too linear, and this is an opportunity for them to not be that. But yeah, I guess if there's ever a way to not do something, this would be it. It did fall flat. I think it fell flat with the fans too, which is really unfortunate because I think that the majority of them that were there were probably there to see Edge, considering he was advertised for it. And like that's the segment that he does.
Well, I don't think it fell flat on the fans that were there. I mean,
you don't think so?
They were cheering pretty loud for everything that Edge was doing.
Yeah, maybe they were. I mean
maybe it was just
RKO,
you know,
which why did he do an RKO?
I don't know.
Edge has like 14 finishing moves, and he does an RKO.
Maybe because Randy Orton RKO'd Beth, so he wanted to do, you know, the same thing to Orton to avenge Beth.
But like
another thing is, after he RKO's him, he goes out to the ring and gets a chair.
Yeah.
And then he walks back up to the ring. And then like he gets this, you know, look on his face like, oh, I need to grab another chair. All the while, like Randy Orton is laying in the ring right there.
Right.
Like you already have the chair in your hand. I mean, the reason you're there is because you want to kick Randy Orton's ass.
Right.
So you're just going to let him, you're just going to stand there with a chair in your hand while he's laying there basically unconscious. Not unconscious, but, you know, he's down. Hurt from that. He's down. And you're just going to take your time and grab chairs instead of just like going right after him.
Yeah.
I think Edge should have been, and that's just my opinion. I mean, but I think Edge should have been a lot more aggressive than what he was.
I completely agree. I agree he should have been more aggressive. He should have been, you know, relentless in his attack on Randy. Should have chased him down. I think it probably would have ended better if he chased him out of the arena, you know. Mm-hmm. That way, you know, you're seeing that he's unrelenting. And ultimately it leads to a no DQ match at WrestleMania or something. I don't know. But
yeah.
The other thing, though, is, and this is what I was kind of getting at with the RKO. Why did he do an RKO? I mean, Edge has won championships with his finishers. I mean, in his mind, there is nothing more devastating than his finishers. Mm-hmm. You know, so why wouldn't he do, you know, execution, right? And I think that's the inverted X Factor, right? And then he's got that DDT, like that implant DDT or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the spear. But, like, why would he do an RKO? And then when MVP gets up, he spears MVP, and then he gives him, like, first of all, they're saying, oh, he's got him in a chokehold. No. It's just a freaking headlock.
Maybe he's giving him a hug because he felt sorry for, like, spearing him earlier.
But, but when I started thinking about it, there's, like, zero. I mean, not literally zero, but there are very few grappling finishers in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the spear, which I think 27 people have the spear as a finishing move in WWE right now.
Yes.
Superman punch, flying forearm, claymore kick, curb stomp, black mass, coquina clutch, mandible claw, sleeper hold, blatant choke. These are all either strikes or submissions. No one has a freaking like strong grapple finisher anymore.
Would you consider the yes lock a submission. Grapple finish?
No. Submission.
Okay. I guess explain what do you mean by grapple finish?
So like F5.
Okay. Like something where you have to physically pick up your opponent.
Right.
And like, okay.
Yeah, F5, Styles Clash, Amityville Horror.
Amityville Horror 2.
But I mean, like, I honestly like name any other than the Styles Clash and F5.
Tombstone?
Does he even do the Tombstone anymore?
Not to AJ Styles while he has a shoulder injury, apparently.
Well, so we'll say choke slam. That's at least a slam.
He grapples the neck.
Right.
Braun Strowman has that running power slam?
Oh, yep. That's a good one.
Okay. Big E has the big ending.
Okay.
So we're picking up a few there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
There's a few sprinkled out.
Cedric Alexander, who doesn't wrestle anymore, has what is that? The lumbar check.
I can't remember.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin has the end of days.
I wish it was.
I'm pretty sure, and I think I heard this, but Sami Callihan invented that move.
The end of days?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you hear that from?
From Sami Callihan.
He told me.
No,
he was delivering my pizza, and he's like, did you know that?
He's like, hey, fun fact.
Sami Callihan fact number 35.
Stay in school, kids.
Yeah. Always carry a Kleenex in your pocket.
Wipe off your feet when you come through the door.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah. So.
Very few.
Yeah. That segment left me feeling a little confused. I think that if you're going to add an extra element into a feud like that, it better be somebody that either person is close with or had like a past feud with. I think that would make more sense, not just having a random person come out there trying to form a stable and just happens to call Edge's name and, yeah.
Yep.
So that's my opinion on it. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but like I said, I just felt confused on why they decided to, go in that direction and use MVP for that. So
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So my worst thing, I do have a worst thing, and believe it or not, it's separate from yours.
Okay.
I'm not just piggybacking this week.
Oh, thank God.
My worst thing is I mean, I'll use one specific segment as an example, and then realistically, it's an overarching thing. But my worst thing is the AJ Styles promo on The Undertaker.
Okay.
You know, you and I got pretty long-winded about the mystique of The Undertaker and how he's supposed to be this supernatural being.
I know where you're going with this. I guess I think I might have an idea of where you're going with this, but continue.
And then AJ must have listened and just like took notes like, oh, you know what? He's not a mystical being. Yeah. He's just an old man named Mark Calloway.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just old, and I saw you at the airport buying Cracker Jacks next to Michael Cole.
Michael Cole wouldn't shut up.
Is it? Yeah, like just completely, like that's his appeal to the fans. You know what's the saying in wrestling? You know, if you tear down your opponent and then you didn't beat anyone, you know, you have to put them over, not the opposite. So
I don't know if that's the exact saying, but I know what you're saying though.
Listen, it is 11 o'clock at night, and I had ice cream and cookies, and
you should be on a sugar high right now.
No,
well, what's that saying in wrestling? Never wear white on Fridays while you're licking a penny. You know.
Early bird is worth two in the bush.
Yep, one in the tank.
Yep. So anyway, so he just basically completely takes his appeal away. You know, the fact that he is this supernatural being that everyone is like so in awe about. And it's like, nah, you're just an old fat man.
Isn't your name Mark?
Yeah, your name's Mark. You like Harley Davidsons.
You have a wife named Michelle.
Yes, and I'm glad, great segue. That is what I'm coming at overall as my worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does Vince McMahon just hate marriage? Why is everyone after everyone's wife?
Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream is after Marina Shafir. Randy Orton's after Beth Phoenix.
Yep.
AJ Styles is after Michelle McCool. I mean, we might as well change it to Wife-a-mania.
Kurt Angle was after Linda McMahon at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it doesn't matter. Vince's wife isn't even off limits.
It just, it comes back to, and I don't want to beat a dead horse because we made this point last week, but it comes back to just lazy booking. And it gets really, really frustrating because now, you know, we said it before where the only way that you can create a heel in WWE is by being really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so they're like, hey, Asuka, speak gibberish Japanese and just speak it, you know, nonstop. And it'll annoy the common fan and they'll boo you because of it. Hey, Baron Corbin, be yourself, which is annoying, and people will boo you.
And put this crown on, too, while you're at it.
And so then it's like, okay, well, this formula's played out. We got to think of something else. I got it. You know what people hate? When
Wives.
You come after their wife. Yeah,
they're always getting in the way. And
you know what I hate?
When my wife tells me I need to go to bed.
Wives.
Am I right?
Wife-a-mania.
Wife slam.
Wife. All right.
Yeah.
I was going to do some with Elimination Chamber, but I lost it.
Yeah. So you didn't like the AJ Styles promo that he did on The Undertaker?
No, stupid. It just completely devalues The Undertaker, and I get it. Like, you say he's this old, terrible, you know, worn-out man, and then he's going to come out and have, like, you know, quote-unquote, this great match with you and win at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm not interested. I'm literally not interested in WrestleMania.
You're taken out of it.
I am. Like, I want to see Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. I think that'll be fun.
That build up for that's been great though.
Yeah. But I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Such a shame.
It is.
Yeah, if WrestleMania even happens.
True.
In the next couple of weeks, so.
Yeah, I just got these alerts that the NBA has postponed the remainder of the season. Or suspended the rest of the season.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's
crazy. It's crazy. I mean, no, we don't need to get into that.
Yeah, there's plenty of people talking about that.
Let's stick to Sasquatches and Mark Calloway.
Yeah, lightning bolts and Sasquatches.
Yeah.
And gigging to make your kids feel better.
Yes. That makes more sense.
And Ace and Nights Off.
Yep. You didn't watch Elimination Chamber, did you?
No.
Okay.
No, and it's interesting too because with us now on WrestlingHeadlines.com, cheap plug, I feel like we have a little bit of a responsibility to stay up on everything, and I'm avoiding it still.
Oh, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus or anything. That was...
No. That was definitely you playing gotcha.
No, that wasn't. It really wasn't. I was leading into, like, something else that I thought of about Elimination Chamber.
Let's hear it.
The women's Elimination Chamber match.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen highlights of that or anything?
No.
Okay.
Any more brain busters?
Yeah. You remember what the Andre shot is?
Why'd they do that?
No.
Damn.
Man, I don't know if that should have been the main event of that pay-per-view.
Oh, really? Why? Because the fans were out of it, or because it just wasn't good?
In general, just like the fans were out of it the whole night, it seems like.
Well, it was in Philly, too, right?
Yeah, it was in Philadelphia, which they have, like, one of the rowdiest crowds you can imagine,
Yeah, I mean...
So, and they were just... It was just kind of like, just they did not seem really into it. I mean, there's certain parts during the night that they popped for, but...
well, I mean, if you work for the fans in Philly, they appreciate it, and they'll come out for it. But if you just phone it in and put it on a shit show, like, unfortunately, I'm sure Elimination Chamber was, then they're gonna sit on their hands.
Mm-hmm. There's this really weird spot in the women's Elimination Chamber match where, who was it? Natalia and
Natalia?
No, Natty and Ruby Riott started the Elimination Chamber match. And then Liv Morgan came out. And then Shayna Baszler came out. And within like 60 seconds or so, like a minute, she choked out Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan.
Okay.
And then she went after Natty, took her out. And then there's this like I don't know exactly how long it is. It felt like 10 minutes, but I'm sure it was like 5 to 7 minutes where nothing was happening in the match. Shayna was just walking around the ring. I think at one point she sat up on the ropes or something like that, but they waited, after Shayna took out Natty, they waited like 5 to 7 minutes with Shayna in the ring by herself before anyone else got released from their chamber.
Ugh.
That was a buzzkill, dude.
Were they trying to do the whole, like, Steve Austin, sitting on the top rope, checking his watch type thing?
They must have thought that's what they were trying to do. It didn't work, though. I mean, the fans just weren't into it. It just took too much time. And it really killed the crowd and as I was watching it. It really took me out of it, too.
I fear that Shayna will lose at Mania, and then that will likely be the beginning of her end.
I don't know.
Based on all these wasted opportunities they've had with her lately, I mean, Vince could get really sensitive and be like, you know what, to hell with this.
Natty urine.
She's not blonde enough anyway.
But yeah, it was just really weird. It was bad pacing of the match in that spot. The crowd finally came alive when Asuka got released from her pod. And
nice.
Yeah, then she gave Shayna a little bit of offense, but I mean, Shayna choked her out in like 5 minutes or so, within 5 minutes, and that was it.
Ugh.
Yeah. But so yeah, there's your wrestling.
Well, it's over.
Yep. You have any thoughts about AEW Dynamite, which we just got done watching?
Yeah, I mean, we're fresh off of it. I've said this before, but I don't know that I've ever said it on an episode, so, you and I can talk about it now. But I really, I want more from Luchasaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're enormous. I want him to just, kind of be a little reckless. You pull your kicks too much. It's clear they're not connecting. Just... have someone just take one for the team and just take their head off. I mean, if I were there, and maybe this is why I had such a short career, but if I were there, I would totally just dude, take my head off on one of these. You need to look ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's too much of that Jean-Claude Van Damme, hook kick crap. I'm like, nope, dude, you're huge. You shouldn't be doing that nonsense.
I mean, it's impressive that he can do it, but
100%. I'm not taking anything away from the guy, but
yeah, it doesn't look smooth,
right?
And it doesn't look that powerful too.
Exactly. I mean,
especially
sure
for a big guy doing it,
right?
So.
I'm sure the weight of his leg is enough to make it impactful.
Right, yeah.
But still, yeah.
He needs to emphasize it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And he needs to stop talking like a Harvard college professor, I think.
And
he needs to sound like a badass.
Yeah. What'd you think of Death Triangle?
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's first match they had. So, I mean, I'm sure... I don't know.
I mean, I know
at this point, it didn't really do too much for me, honestly. But not saying...
I know that the AEW is wanting to do six-man tag belts.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're trying to build that division, so I guess that's what that is.
Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why you see so many six-man tags. But I think maybe not the first, but I feel like the six-man tag championships are built for Best Friends and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, it's always a possibility if they decide to incorporate those titles.
Yeah, man, it's built for them. That's totally the reason.
It's the only reason they're doing it.
What about you? Takeaways from either NXT or AEW?
NXT really needs to cut back on the ladder matches.
Why did they have one?
No, but they had 2 qualifying matches in the women's division for a ladder match at TakeOver.
Right.
So, but I'm saying in the past couple months, they've had gimmick matches galore.
Oh, right.
Ladder matches, steel cage matches. Yep. And this goes back to a point that we were talking about, that we were texting about on Saturday or something. I don't know. But like the overuse of gimmick matches and how it, in the long run, it ends up devaluing those matches.
Yeah.
Because you see them so often and the audience gets so desensitized to it that essentially they don't mean anything. I mean,
yep.
Every time you do one, the audience has already seen everything pretty much that you can do in that said match. So the audience doesn't care. You know, with all these, NXT doing all these ladder matches, and then you've got Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
Gauntlet Mania, possibly coming to the WWE Network at some point too.
Yep.
So
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, cut them back. Cut back the gimmick matches.
Yeah, that came about when we were talking about Blood and Guts.
Yes.
But we can save that for as we get closer to Blood and Guts. But I do want to call it now, since we're 2 weeks away and there's really no reason to predict it, but I'm going to predict it now.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy Guevara will do a double moonsault off the top of the cage.
I think the cage is going to have a roof on it.
I don't think so.
I thought I heard JR mention something on the show that the cage is going to have a roof.
JR says a lot of things, all right?
But it's barbecue sauce, man.
I'm calling it. Double moonsault.
Not if there's a roof on the cage. I guess we should find out if there's going to be a roof on the cage. Through the roof. Okay. I want to see that. Through the roof.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Through the roof, baby. Through the roof. Yep.
Through the roof.
Oh.
Could it be?
I knew it.
That's gonna be our What's Up Soapy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that's it.
See ya. No. It looks like we've been going pretty close to an hour. So
yeah. Usually, the reason we call this quick and painless is because we try to get out under an hour, and I think that is both quick and painless, and it kind of works twice because I am quick and you are painless. Hey,
hi-oh.
I don't know what I'm saying.
All right. Well, should we do some plugs?
Plug it.
Plug it, baby. Plug it in. Quick Pain Pod.
Spread
Facebook.
It on.
Spread it on. Yeah. Quick Pain Pod. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, website, quickpainpod.com. And you can also find us on wrestlingheadlines.com, where we will have our video versions of our podcast episodes posted on there and also on their YouTube channel page.
Boom. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone, once again for checking us out. We will try to make sure that these are uploaded every Friday. We'll be a little bit early this week, but don't get used to it.
Yeah, this is only going to happen once, so.
Yeah, maybe twice, but 3 is right out.
Yeah, just lower your expectations right out of the gate, and you won't be disappointed.
True.
Words to live by. That'll be one of the chapters in your father book.
Lowered expectations.
Lowered expectations.
Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Thanks, guys.